I'm Marin, and this is Post-its and Pens. Hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin, and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. In today's video, I thought it would be fun to take you through the BOUJEE BOOKTUBER tag, where I answer questions to decide whether my book purchasing habits are bougie or not. I did do a beauty version of this same exact tag, which I will link up in the cards if you would like to watch, but let's go ahead and get into the questions. I am going to be reading the questions off of my computer, so if you see me looking over there, that is what I am looking at. I want to make sure I get the questions correct. I will leave all of the information about the tag down below in the description box, including the questions, should you want to go ahead and answer them for yourself. I would love to see your responses. Feel free to link me in the comments if you do decide to film this. The BOUJEE BOOKTUBER tag was created by a YouTuber named eBook. I will link you to her video where she introduces the tag in the description box. It is a spin on the BOUJEE Beauty Guru tag, which I mentioned I had already filmed. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions to decide if I am bougie or not. So here we go. Question number 1. What is your average monthly budget for books? Now, I am actually going through a low by year. I will link my introduction in the cards if you would like to go through my rules, but one of the things that I am actually not buying this year in 2021 is books. So because of that, my average monthly budget for books is 0. I'm not spending anything on books this year. So I get most of my books from the library, and I'm also trying to go through my backlog of books on my Kindle. So $0 for my monthly budget right now. Question 2. What's the most you've ever spent in a bookstore? Now, I actually used to work at Barnes & Noble way back in 2005, and I dropped a pretty penny in the bookstore when I worked there. Anytime anything caught my eye, I would pick it up because I was kind of telling myself that it was a good deal since I got that discount. So I don't even know how much I spent in one go a lot of the times, but it was a pretty insane amount of money, and it is the reason why I still have a ton of books that I have never read, even though we are well over 15 years ago when we're thinking about how long ago it was for me to work at the bookstore. So I would say that, again, right now I'm not spending anything at the bookstore. I haven't even been to a bookstore in probably over a year because of COVID, but when I was working at the bookstore, I could easily drop $100, $200 if I wasn't careful, and I would definitely say that the years that I worked at Barnes & Noble were when I spent the most money on books. Question 3. Are you willing to pay full price for a brand new release, or will you wait until you have a coupon or there is a sale? Now, I will pay full price, mostly because if it's something that I am really anticipating, I'm not going to want to wait for there to be a sale, and also I don't tend to overspend on books. I know that that's a weird thing to say on BookTube. I am not really into book hauls. I am not interested in bringing a whole ton of stuff into my collection. I really just want to focus on what I have, and even when I was buying books, I would maybe buy 2 or 3 at most, and that was only if I had a gift card. So I would definitely just go ahead and pay full price for that book that I want rather than trying to wait until it goes on sale. Question 4. Would you rather buy one new book or several less expensive used copies? I would prefer to just purchase one new book. I think it's very easy to fall into the trap of purchasing more than you really need if you're looking at it in terms of getting more books for the same price. I, again, am trying to cull my collection down, really make it something that I love. So I am not interested in getting more for the same amount of money. I am just interested in getting what I truly want to read and add to my collection. So I would definitely just spend the money on one book. Question number 5. What do you think is a reasonable price for a new hardback book? A paperback, an ebook? Now, I will pay around $20 for a hardback. It's not something that I love doing, but I'm willing to spend the money on something, again, if it is truly what I want. I feel like paperback books, if we're talking about the larger sized paperback, so not the mass markets, but the larger size, I'm willing to spend between $10 and $15 on those. Mass markets should be, in my opinion, no more than $5 or $6. And I will not spend over $2 on an ebook. I think the price of ebooks is absolutely outrageous. And if I'm going to purchase an ebook, I am going to wait for like an Amazon Kindle deal or something like that, because there is no way that I am paying essentially the price of a paperback for an ebook. It's just not something I'm willing to do. Number 6, is a signed book worth more to you? How about a first edition? Now, it would depend on the book, to be honest. So if I really loved the author, I'd maybe pay a little bit more to get a signed edition, but it's not something that I really go out of my way to find. I don't really feel like that is something that I need. Now, if I'm going to a signing where it might be personalized, that's one thing, but to order a book that's been signed and pay more, I'm not really interested in doing that. I also do not look for first editions. That's just not something that I really care about. I am not into thinking about whether I'm going to resell something. I just want the book because I want it, and I'm not really thinking about the future, to be honest. So I don't really think that I would pay more for either one of those things. Question number 7. What is your most valuable book in terms of being sentimental or actual value? So I would say that my hardcover Harry Potter books are definitely the most sentimental to me. They introduced me to Harry Potter fandom, and that has a lot of really priceless memories surrounding it. My friends and I went to the midnight releases for the last several books. We went to the movie releases. I attended Harry Potter fan conferences. So there are just a lot of memories wrapped up in those books, and that is what makes them sentimental to me. Now, unfortunately, the author has shown her true colors in terms of a lot of things that are really not okay and honestly need to be called out. So I have a kind of torn relationship with the franchise at this point, but I can't forget all of the memories that I made because of it. And again, it's just because of that alone that it makes those books particularly precious and priceless to me. Question number 8, will you pay more for a cover or edition you like better? Yes. A perfect example of this is the UK version of the Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. I loved the UK covers, and I loved that they were paperback. I just really loved the design of them, and so I did purchase the UK version for all of those books in that series from Book Depository, and paid a little bit more than I would have had I purchased them from a US bookseller. But again, I liked the aesthetic, and sometimes I am willing to pay more for that. Question number 9, what physical characteristics does a good quality book have? I would say number 1 is paper thickness. I think it has to have really good quality paper to be considered a good quality book. I need the paper to feel high quality when I'm turning the pages or just holding the book in my hand. That can also mean that the book is a little bit heavier in weight, and all of that kind of makes me think that it's a little bit better quality. I also really love sprayed edges or the gilt edges or the deckled edges. I just think that adds a little bit of fun to the book. It makes it look a little bit nicer and a little bit better quality. So those are some things that I kind of look at. I do want hardcovers that feel hefty. Like, I want them to feel like they are very well put together. I need paperback books to be kind of easy to open. I've heard the term floppy. That is something that I do appreciate in paperback books. I want them to be a little bit floppier, easier to open so that I'm not bending or cracking the spine. And yeah, I just really want them to open easily without me having to crack the spine to get them to be that way. Question number 10 says, if you won the lottery, what bookish things would you do with the money? So I would have built-in bookshelves and a window seat. That is the first thing that I would have done. That is something that I have always wanted and do not currently have. So that is one thing that I would do right away. I would figure out how to remodel my space to make all of that work. I would also buy the most comfortable chair that I could find, that I could sit in to read and curl up in a blanket with. And I would probably go to Etsy or someplace like that to commission some bookish art for my walls from some artists, because I think that would be a really cool way to support a small business and get something kind of memorable and unique. I would also purchase this one ring fire pit that I found on, I believe, Twitter, I think is where I saw it. I'm going to put a picture right here to show you what it looks like, but I would definitely purchase one of those. I'll actually link the company that makes them down below if you want to check them out, but yeah, I would definitely purchase one of those because I think it's pretty cool looking. A bonus question says, give us an image, actual or mental, of your dream home library. And I have a ton of them, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you some pictures through here over on the side. And yeah, they kind of all have a similar theme, but I definitely, again, love that built-in bookshelf look. I love window seats. I like lots of pillows, comfy places to sit. Yeah, so here's some examples of what I would love to have in my own home. Okay, and then the last question obviously just wants to know if you think you're bougie or not. I do not think that I am, obviously. However, I can definitely see how some of my tastes might lend me to seem that way. I do like what I like, and I'm willing to spend money on what I like. So if that makes me bougie, I guess it makes me bougie. But all in all, this year especially, I am definitely not buying any new books. So in that regard, I would say that I am not bougie because I am not adding to my collection just to have things, even if it's something that I think would be really cool and I would really enjoy. I am just going to get it through the library or some other method instead of spending money on it. And that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more from me. If you do decide to answer these questions yourself, I would love for you to link me to your video or another place that you answer them so I can check out your responses. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.